right. Welcome to another episode of Sports Therapy with FH Jr. This is week 16. And before I begin, let me say Merry Christmas to all. Feliz Navidad and all that good stuff. All right. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. And I hope Santa brings everybody what they want. I hope everybody get what they want. But you know what? If you don't do anything else, please spend time with your family. Because at the end of the day, that's what's most important. Is that quality time with family. Yeah, gifts is great. It's good to get gifts, but it's even better to spend quality time with family. A little bit about the show. Once again, let me go over the rules for the rule breakers. On Sports Therapy with F.H. Jr., we do not talk politics. Man, I don't give a fat rat's butt what the Republicans are doing, nor do I care what the Democrats are doing. We don't talk race relations. Man, I don't care what's going on. All are welcome to call in. In fact, we enjoy the conversation. We love diversity, and that's the name of the show. And we don't talk sexual orientations, man. We don't care what you do. Your private life is your private life. As long as you like football, you are a friend of mine. And the show is always sponsored by Crown Royal. Yes. And normally I am decked out in the standard uniform, which is usually augmented by the cool beard followed by the standard NFL hat. But because it is Christmas time, I am rocking. Yes, I am rocking one of my Christmas attire. Now some people say this is an ugly shirt. Now, I don't understand that, man. It's just, hey, this is how I get down. I'm rocking the Washington Commander Redskin football team, whatever we want to call ourselves, because like I told everybody in the Redskin football family, it doesn't make a difference what we call ourselves if we're not winning. And we did not win today. So, on Sports Therapy with F.A. Jr., you get 2 minutes. Callers will get 2 minutes to call in, rip, rant, kick knowledge about all things NFL. And the number to call if you want to be a live guest is 940-329-4110. That is the number to call. And we just want to jump right in, man. This is the Christmas season. And I'm just hoping that everybody just take some quality time, man, and just spend some quality time with family, man. But I expect to hear from a lot of people, or the usual. I know I'll be hearing from my homeboy Glenn today. I'm sure he'll just be dancing off the rooftops. The Steelers won. The Cowboys lost. My Commanders, it is what it is, man. But we always start off the show when I say, man, we're going to talk about some scores. And then for some reason, the Jeep gets driven off the cliff, and we don't get a chance to talk about scores. So you know what? We're going to talk about some scores before things get cray. But I love the fact that the NFL is, we can watch and enjoy games on Saturdays and today, because today is Christmas Eve, and then we have the big games, which is going to be Monday night. We have those 49ers, the bully of the NFL. They're going to be taking on the team that think they are the up-and-coming bullies, and that is the Baltimore Ravens. So I expect to hear from my boy from D1 Ignorant University. Though I got a caller coming. The show is not about me. It is all about the fans. Sports Therapy with F.A. Jr.
Hello?
What say ye, Jay? Jay, before we begin, let me say this to you. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Jay. And as I was saying, when I opened up the show, I was telling my guests, man, I want everybody to spend quality time with their family. Spend quality time with your family, Jay. Now let's talk about them. Who that nation? I tune in. You guys played this Thursday night, and Who That Nation took on the Rams. And what I expected, Jay, I expected you guys. I'll be honest. I I tell people, man, if I wasn't a Redskin Commander fan, I would probably be I'd probably be a member of the Who Dat Nation. Therefore, I lean heavy toward the Who Dat Nation. So I watch you guys Thursday night. Now, Jay, I gotta tell you, I was disappointed in that game because it was like you guys could never get going. Before man, you guys were down by 21 points before the end of the first quarter. I was like, what are we watching? It was
What
like
was it? What was watching? On the car. That's what we watching.
Jay, can you turn the volume up on your phone?
Yeah.
How about that?
All right.
Okay, now I got you. Now I will tell you, Carr was Carr. He didn't. I mean, at this stage, Carr is who he is. He's not gonna throw the ball down the field. Um, but it was like I was just waiting and just like, okay, at any time now, the Who Dat Nation is gonna take off. You guys are gonna start to kind of get it together, and I expected that. But that little run, it just never came. It never came. I was like, okay, um, you guys they tried to make a comeback, and the final score I believe was 30-22. But I'm saying that whole game was Carr threw the usual interception in the fourth quarter. Um, Alvin Kamara, he really didn't. It's like the running game never got started, and man, I don't know what happened to y'all defense. This is the first time in a long time where I seen the Saints defense just actually not show up now, because for the most part of the season, the defense has been what's been carrying you guys, but it didn't. It did not happen this Thursday night, and you guys made the Rams look like. Well, you helped them to kind of keep their playoffs hope alive, but you know, what say ye?
I couldn't watch it.
Yeah.
I couldn't. I couldn't watch. Couldn't watch it. I couldn't watch it.
So now let me ask you a question, Jay. Did you watch any other games other than your Who Dat Nation?
I mean, I saw today's game, the Cowboys game.
Ah, you Cowboy fan, sort of.
No, no way in the world.
You know, to the Cowboy Nation, I'm sure they're out there, and I love it. I tell people, someone asked me. So Jay, let me ask you this question because someone asked me. They said, "Hey, um, when you know your team is out of the running for the playoffs, do you cheer for the teams in your division? For example, if you guys find out that y'all gonna be out of the playoffs, would you, Jay, would you cheer for the Atlanta Falcons, or would you cheer for Tampa Bay to go on and win the Super Bowl when it seems like you guys are not gonna be in
You crazy.
it?" That's how I feel because someone asked me, "Hey man, if the Commanders are not gonna be in it, if the Redskins are not gonna be in it, if you guys know that y'all are mathematically eliminated from the playoffs, um, would you? Why don't you pull for the Cowboys?" I'm like, man, you gonna lose your mind. That's almost like asking the Texas A&M Aggies to put down their arms and cheer for the Longhorns. Some rivalries go deeper than just than just the football season, man. I was like, no, 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 no. It is not going to happen. Not going to happen. So when someone asked me that question, just like today, okay, we're basically out of it. We lost 10 game. Hell, I don't lost count, but it did do my heart just a little bit of. I did take some pleasure in watching the. Now, look, in full disclosure, I'm gonna tell you because I think I told my listeners last week. I have a a friendly bet with my kids at work. And the bet is not only that my kids, but it's also with some of my colleagues that if the Cowboys get to the Super Bowl, I have to cut all my hair off and get a bald haircut. So, whoo, hey, I don't know, man. I just got a strange feeling it is not going to happen. So, Jay, um, I think you guys are still in it. Tampa Bay won today, so that's not going to be good. So I don't know about the Who That Nation. Personally, I think it's time for a change. I don't know if you guys are going to do it, but I don't know. Um, any parting words?
They should, but they don't mean they real. So, you know,
But you guys are not out of it
get us
yet.
some cards.
Say what now?
Mm. I said, I think we'll see a car again. Though I don't want to, but I think that's what they're gonna do. They will keep car in.
But unless
And
y'all decide, unless the Who That Nation decide to do something drastic, it's starting to look like the playoffs may be slipping away, Jay. But hey, appreciate you calling, and hey, you have a Merry Christmas, and thank you for being a regular caller on the show. All right, let's get one last who that for the fans.
who that?
Say they go beat them safe.
The,
All right, Jay. Sports Therapy with F.A. Jr.
FH Jr., how's it going? It's the Ravens extraordinaire, Brandon Cooper, my brother.
What do you say, Brandon? Hey, man, let me get you to push your volume up a little bit.
You guys can hear me?
Yeah. So,
Yes, sir.
two
Yes, sir.
things, three things, three things. See, Brandon and I was going back and forth for a second, while I was watching the game on pins and needles and stuff like that. Uh, Here's where I am on my team, Brandon, and then I'm gonna turn the I'm gonna give you the whole floor, right? Here's where I am on my
All
team.
right. All right.
A true fan is a true fan. Now, oh man, there's some things that I'm so frustrated with Eric Bieniemy's uh, play calling. Um, and I always have to remind myself that Sam he didn't get in there until like the last game of last season. So basically, this is his rookie season. And on top of that, you got Eric throwing a whole lot at the youngster. Does he hold on to the ball too long? You can see the big difference between his play and Jacoby Biss's play. But I will tell you this: I do not want to spend. Now, would it have been great if we'd won the game? Players, and you played the game. Players don't just not play. You know what I mean? We're,
Yeah.
we're, we're not
That's true.
wired
That's
like
true.
that, huh?
In the NFL, man, you don't miss games and you don't waste opportunities.
Yes, because we're not wired like that. And so, anytime you step on the field, you want to see a victory. Me, I want to see a victory, but I know everybody. It's like, okay, man, we got like a third pick and all that good stuff. And I tell people, you're not guaranteed. Look at the Jets. You're not guaranteed if you move up and get this first round draft pick quarterback that he's gonna be a hit. And plus, here's why I am, and I'm just one person, and I don't speak for the team. I speak for me as a fan. I believe that this is what I would like to see. And of course, part of my Christmas wish list is coming to fruition. We're getting ready to coach, and I'm not gonna lie. I want to see Eric leave too. I want. Man. I had high hopes for Eric, but then
Damn,
again,
just 1 year?
but see, it's his
Damn.
it's his play calling because I was frustrated with our offensive coordinator last year. When you don't run the ball on 3rd and 1, I know I'm old school, but when it's 3rd and 1 or 2nd and 1 and you got two tries, run that ball one of those times to give you a better shot at what you're gonna do on third down. I'm cool with that, but I just like to see Eric. My only thing with Eric is you did not adjust your play calling for this first year rookie quarterback that you had. You should have incorporated the run a lot more to save this youngster, to keep him from getting his brains beat out. Yes, he can't read the field as best as Jacoby, because you can see the experience between the two. Now, would I be okay? Now, I don't want us to go and waste this pick on a quarterback next year. I don't want to see that. I want us to build in areas that we really need: offensive line, um, edge rushers, especially on the defensive side. Give us some DBs.
Yeah,
We got a lot to fix because we're the
can't
worst.
let them edge rushers just go.
Yes, man. No, dude, no, man. Don't. Yeah, no. Don't. And so, what I would like to see is maybe let Jacoby start next year, start him off, and
This is crazy.
huh?
And I just want everybody to compare the way that this man spoke at the beginning of the season.
Because I had high hopes, man,
I,
dude. I had high hopes. I did not know our offensive line was gonna be this bad. I didn't know we were gonna make some bonehead ass decision and get rid of our two edge rushers. I just thought, you know what? We're gonna come in and Eric is gonna bring some of what he does for Kansas. He's gonna get more of the offensive weapons involved in the game. Nurture Sam, and I really thought we was gonna lean back on the run and be more of a traditional running team with a little mix up the pass. I did not know we were gonna come out, man, and sling it 45, 50 times a game. That we're gonna trade off our two edge rushers. Dude, I had no idea we were gonna do all this craziness, man. Trust me, man. Now I'm off my
Hey,
soapbox, dog. Go for it.
okay. So to combat, go over what you said. I say, man, you got to give Eric Bieniemy one more year. Come on now. Number two, you got to start Sam Howell next year because that's your quarterback for the future. And here's why. The thing about it is when you have a rookie quarterback throwing as much as he did in that type of offense, you expose him to make many mistakes
Oh
because he
yeah,
doesn't know how to read yet.
right.
People forget Pat Mahomes sat on the bench and learned that first year from Alex Smith. Then he came in,
Yep.
right? The thing about it is with young quarterbacks, you got to feed them the playbook evenly, right? Because the more times he throws that football, the more times that's that's one extra play defensive coordinators have of film on him.
True.
So you're exposing him to the different elements. Now, I would say because of Eric B. Enemy, he didn't change the offense as related to the personnel that he had,
And that's what
right?
and
Now,
that's what
no, it's still
frustrated
an
me with
edge
him.
rush team, and it does. So I would also say y'all trading both of your defensive ends was a terrible idea. But I do say going into the draft, just pick that offensive lineman at the fifth. Bulk up your offensive line. You have good running backs, have good skill players. But
Yes.
the main thing with you all is, I would say offensive lineman first round, second round, edge rusher, and y'all just pretty much have to go to the drawing board and say, look, man, we're gonna have to run this football because if you don't, it's gonna be a long day, and
A
that's
long
just
day.
the consequences of your team. And I mean, today after Howell threw a second interception, which y'all do, y'all benched him. I mean,
A long day.
I mean, I don't know what you're gonna accomplish by benching somebody in what week 16, but
A, a,
all
a,
right.
a long day. I don't either, man. I'll be honest with you. I think that whole benching of him was crazy. But you know what? And I agree with you. I think that the game slows down for a quarterback in the second year because people think this is Howell's second year. It's really his first. And the game slows down. And think about it now. And when he was coming out last year, he had a different offensive coordinator. So now you bring in Eric, and I just think Eric did not adjust. He didn't adjust the play calling for, like you said, the like of a player that we had on the team. He didn't build it around him. He's just like, this is my system, and we're gonna run it.
That's what he did. When Airbnb came, he said, "Hey, this is how we're gonna run things, and we're gonna get this right." But you're not in Kansas City.
Right.
Like that's a totally different personnel. You have a totally different quarterback. You have a totally different tight end, and people don't understand what make that Eric Bieniemy's offense good in Kansas City was because you have one of the greatest tight ends in NFL history that's able to work hash to hash,
Now let
right?
me
And he
let let
created the
let,
mismatch.
let me,
People didn't understand it wasn't Tyreek Hill that created all the mismatches. It was Travis Kelsey
oh yeah,
creating the mismatches.
yeah, I
So
agree.
that's how. But Logan Thomas and Travis Kelsey are two totally different guys. And I would
Man,
Logan Thomas isn't bad, but I wouldn't expect Logan Thomas to
no,
be your team's lead guy. You see
no,
what I'm saying?
no, no. I agree. I agree with you. Now here's the thing about Eric. Eric frustrates me. Um, the fact that there are obvious downs where he need to run the ball and he doesn't. That just drives me crazy. But I know that I have to adjust to the new play call and the way guys rely heavily on analytics, and whereas I'm part of the old school where I rely more on common sense, which is you have to set up plays to be able to set up other plays. In other words, sometimes you even got to help your defense while you're on offense. You need to know, hey, you know what? We can't bring the defense right back out here, or our defense is not that good. We're not going. You know what I'm saying? So I got to do some things, but to just keep wanting to run your system and everything else be damn. That's why I have a problem with Eric.
And that was the problem. You didn't adjust to the team, and it's gonna be growing pains, man. Any quarterback their first full year starting, man, it's gonna be growing pains, bro. But the main thing is you have something there.
And
At
and,
least
and
it could be worse.
now, but like I said,
Now,
man, I'm not so much for Cannon Sam because I do believe in Sam, and I just think that normally there's a big growth between the first year and the second year. It's just like the game slows down for him a whole lot, and I think he'll probably get that. I just don't want us to lose games to try to move up to third and like, oh yeah, we're gonna take a quarterback. Yeah, Jaden Daniels is there, but who's to say? Because I don't think our fan base can handle another year of trying to grow a
it's
uh,
gonna be the
a
it's
rookie
gonna be the same
quarterback.
thing next year.
Yes,
Because if you draft a rookie quarterback, your offensive line is still gonna be bad. He's gonna have the same problem.
and
Okay, so
and
now you
and,
got
and,
three
and he's
guys.
gonna
You
have
got
to
three
come
guys at
in.
quarterback.
He's got to come in, learn a Eric system. He's gonna not like dude, nah. So nah, I'm
Mind you,
for
mind you, in a division where you got Michael Parsons, so you're gonna put this rookie quarterback in there
uh,
with no offensive line,
no offensive
and it's gonna
line.
be the same thing. So then, what's gonna happen if y'all try to bench JT Daniels,
You know,
and then y'all say, oh well, we got to put Sam Howell in the game?
and, and,
Like man, it's just
and,
come on, man.
and see the way I see it, man. We got a lot of money to spend. Let's go get. Let's bring in a good rookie offensive lineman. Don't fill up our offensive line with all these rookies. We got money. Let's go find a veteran offensive lineman or two. Okay, let's find a couple of veterans. Huh?
So wait. So you gonna go pass rusher with that number 5 pick?
No, what I'm saying, we can get a good offensive lineman. Hell, we need more than one. You know what I'm
That's a
saying?
guy to pay. I would say that second round pick definitely get an offensive lineman. I mean a pass rusher.
Yes,
I say because I got two third round picks from the trades and everything. Normally in the third round you can get a good DB from the
yes.
AFC. And but at the end of the day, man, y'all are just gonna have to make a decision on what offense you want to run. Because I don't understand. I don't know anybody offensive wise, skill player wise that you can bring in that's gonna drastically change. Unless you
No,
just unless unless y'all draft Brock Bowers at the 5. You know what I'm saying? Unless y'all want a new tight end.
well, but
But
see, even
you're not.
even that's the case, you gonna end up have he's gonna end up having to stay in and block. you know, it's just like I said.
Yeah.
I just believe in let's build a good offensive line, get a good offensive line, but we don't need our whole offensive line to be all rookies now. Let's get the top one if he's available, and then let's spend some money. Let's go. Let's go get us a good offensive lineman in the league, maybe with about 2 or 3 years of experience. Spend some money, and then let's shore up those other positions, man. And that's kind of how I feel going forward, brother. But all that other minutia, man. Ay, 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 ay.
But
But
like I said, man, y'all gotta do something quick because the Giants feel like they got something over there.
man, them Giants don't have a quarterback, man. They're gonna be just like what we doing. But hey, man, I got another caller trying to get in here, brother.
Hi, my man. Hey, this your boy Brandon Cooper, the Ravens extraordinaire. Check us out tomorrow. Baltimore Ravens will be the best team in the league after tomorrow, and Lamar is gonna make his MVP case, baby.
Hey, man, I'm gonna be sitting right in front of my TV with a big old bowl of food and some eggnog, man. That is gonna be a game. All right,
Hey,
brother.
man, trust me. Hey, yeah, all right, my man.
Have a
Be
Merry
safe out there.
Christmas,
Happy
man.
holidays, man.
All right.
You as well. Thank you.
Yep. Sports therapy at FA Junior.
What's up, my brother?
Hey, my man. Let me get you to turn your volume up.
Hold on, no, you ain't got to. Hold on, 1 minute, brother. Hold on, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud
Can you hear me?
and clear.
All right, boy, look at it. I just got the best Christmas present I had this year.
I bet you did.
Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins just gave me the best Christmas present. One of the best Christmas presents I had this year.
Man, I'll tell you what. Man, you know what, homeboy Glenn? It just proved what I was listening to before I came on the air. I was listening to one of the radio stations because they usually have a little get together and they talk after the show. Cowboys here in the great state of Texas, and the thing about what one of the guys says, styles make fights, and he did a comparison to boxing, and he says, well, the Cowboys lost, but they would probably rather play the Miami Dolphins than the 49ers or Buffalo because they are two real physical teams that the Cowboys seem to be where they kind of mirror the Dolphins a little bit. There is some truth to that, but it still shows me that unless those Cowboys get you in Jerry World on that turf, they don't really they can't play. They just haven't showed me that they can go out and play just 4 quarters of just hand-to-hand combat football, brother. What say ye?
Can I say something right quick? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, dog.
Why it took you so long just to say they ain't worth a damn?
Because it's the Christmas season, man.
Man, damn. You know who I am when it comes to them. I'm the Grinch. They ain't worth a damn. Just go on and say it, man.
They wasn't today.
It don't take that long to figure out. They ain't no hell of a team.
No, sir.
See, this is not the Carolina Panthers. This playoff season right now, brother.
And you know I always,
The Carolina Panthers, Arizona Cardinals.
you know I always tell people, man. I say football season does not start until you get to week 8, and that's when.
There you go. And then the weather changed.
Oh yeah.
I know it's beautiful out there, man, but it's raining though. Football gets slick.
It's raining. It's humid. If anybody been to Florida, Florida weather don't change just because it's December. Hell, they ain't finna get no white Christmas. They gonna get the same humid, hot ass Christmas that they get every year. So if you gotta go down there and play them in all that old sloppy, juicy weather, man, where the humidity is hot and whatever, oh no, dude, you don't want none of that.
That's right, brother. But look, I will say this, man. I'm so happy. I'm so happy this Christmas Eve. I don't know what to do. Cowboy got their ass whooped. Christmas Eve, tomorrow Christmas. I'm happy. Especially Cowboy got their ass whooped. That's the best present I had. But I'm
gonna tell you. You remember back in the day you used to watch Mid South Wrestling.
Yes.
To watch Mid South Wrestling.
Yes.
The Baltimore Ravens and the 49ers.
Ooh, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
supposed to be a good one. That's supposed to be a slobber knocker.
Yes.
You know how they used to tell Mid South Wrestling? That's
Yes.
supposed to be a slobber knocker.
Yeah.
But you know who I think gonna come out on top?
I'm gonna tell you who I think of.
Coming out on top of that.
Huh?
I got the Ravens coming out on top.
I got.
Even though I know they're a rivalry, man, with the Steelers. I want everybody to know I'm a Steelers fan, but I got the Ravens coming out on top of that game tomorrow.
I got them 49ers coming out on top of them tomorrow, bro. I got them 49ers winning. I got them losing. I got them losing some key players, huh?
The reason I have the Ravens coming out on top, I've been watching them. Man, they got a nice. I like their defense, but Lamar Jackson finally got some weapons, man.
Oh,
man, he got some weapons.
I do now.
It don't take a whole lot for a guy like him.
Don't get me wrong.
Man, he done improved a hell of a lot with the passing game, man.
Don't get me wrong, man. I love Lamar. I've been watching the Ravens all year because one of my other callers, he's a big time Raven fan, so I always watch it so I can be able to talk to him a little bit about the Ravens. And the Ravens has always been a good physical team.
I'm a Lamar Jackson fan till he played the Steelers.
I just don't think that nobody this year can stand up to the physicality and the body blows that those 49ers do, man. And and the thing about it's almost like if you play them and you beat them or they beat you, you're going to lose the following week because you're going to be too sore to go and play. I just, where are they playing at? Where's the game going to be at, Is it going to be in Baltimore?
San Francisco.
And
it's going to be in San Francisco.
And like I said, if the Ravens got a weakness, it's probably the DBs. If they got a weakness.
Man, they've been playing good. They've been playing good lately, man. I'm telling you, man. They got a nice. I thought their defense had fell off, but no, their defense was kind of really been carrying them because they got playmakers on their defense, man.
Mm-hmm.
Them guys got playmakers on their defense. I'm just being, you know me, man. I'm a football. I know. Man, them old bullshit ass commentators. Hey, who them commentators they had on that Miami Dolphins and Dallas Cowboy game today?
Oh, I forgot those guys' name, but they wasn't the first tier guys, man. They wasn't the first tier guys.
Down, man. Man, that's what I'm talking about. Stealing money, man. See, that's what you call stealing, man. Them guys don't know a damn thing about football, man.
Nah. Not
Man,
to.
You know football. Hey, you know football. Hey, people don't know you like I know. You know football.
Thank you.
You know football, Frank.
I try to be knowledgeable of the game, but
you know the game. You do.
When I look at
you know the game.
When I look at the comparison between the Ravens and the 49ers, if I'm one of those teams, because it's a measuring stick, because I got a feeling we're going to see them same two back again in the Super Bowl.
See who?
The Ravens and the 49ers.
That's what I'm saying. You're going to see them again.
I got a feeling we're going to see you.
But I'm going to tell you this here before you go. You can't guarantee the Baltimore going to cause that AFC is tough, man.
True.
Hey, now you could almost guarantee the 49ers because ain't no in the hell Dallas, and right now the Eagles could beat the 49ers. Eagles or Dallas could beat them.
You think one of them can beat the 49ers?
Ain't got a damn chance.
No, I was gonna tell you, man.
Eagles got exposed. Eagles don't have no linebackers. They too little, man.
And
49ers physical, like you said, but the Eagles be the closest team to play with them. Hey, but I will say this about Dallas. I might talk shit about them. They played a good game today, though, man. They played a good game. They played a good game. It just they made it, But I'm still glad they had lost, though.
But you know what, though, homeboy? The Miami Dolphins are a finesse football team. They just got raw
They
speed.
won't never win a Super Bowl with that team right there.
Right. They the Cowboys match up well with them. But
With them.
that ain't the type of team that gives them problem because if you watch the game, you know that Miami didn't really stick with the running game. Now they started to, but those big old physical teams like the Bills and the 49ers, they're gonna come out and gut punch you. They gonna gut punch you, and they gonna keep doing it. Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you what Dallas' weakness is. I don't know why don't nobody know this. You know what Dallas' weakness is?
they can't stop the run.
That's one, but what's the other?
Well,
They
to
don't have that physical. They don't have that physical running game like an MX.
no, they right. No, they don't. No, they don't. They
have that physical. Man, what is name? Hey, I'm gonna tell you, they ain't gonna admit it. They won't never admit it because Zeke Elliott, they need him more now than they ever did.
yeah.
Because Pollard is not that physical type running back. You can give him that ball 15, 20 times a game.
And
You
I'm
can't take them back down the league like that.
and I'm gonna tell you something else they're missing. They're missing Cooper, the wide receiver too.
You got done right, man.
They'll never.
Boy, if they had Cooper with CD Lamb,
Mm-hmm.
shit, them motherfuckers be unstoppable.
Because now they would never admit it, but when they lost Amari Cooper, that took a lot out of how their whole approach to offense. Because right now the Cowboys run what I call a gadget offense, which is they're gonna hit you with some gadget plays. If you can withstand their 10 little gadget plays that they got, they ain't got no more about 10 of them. But if you can stand up to those little gadget plays, CD with a quick slant, and if you don't play the Cowboys man to man, then you'll beat them because Dak can't read a zone. He can't read a zone if you just go up to him and give him the direction.
I love that, man. Quit talking about Dak Prescott, man.
He can't read a.
You quit talking about Dak Prescott.
Dak can't read no zone, dog.
I love Dak Prescott.
Any team play them Cowboys zone defense, they in trouble because Dak he can't. But you notice when CD,
Something else, man.
huh?
They don't have that physical running
Nope.
game.
No, they don't.
Their running game is finesse, man. That running back they got now is the one that took Ezekiel Elliott place. He's not that physical runner.
No, he
more a slasher.
yeah he run mostly up to around the 6 and the 8. He ain't finna bring it between the tackles.
Miami Dolphins, they got a nice team, but they will not win a Super Bowl with that style of play they playing right now, because man, when it go to getting up, even it's more when you go to getting up in the week 16, 17, all that, man, you know your body been through all the physical, all the hits. You know what I'm saying? Man,
Yeah.
You need somebody. You see what I'm trying to say? You get a team like Miami will never win a Super Bowl with that type of offense they run.
Well,
Detroit is built more like San Francisco than any team in the NFL. That's why I say they can play with the 49ers, but they don't have the type of weapons right now the 49ers have.
yeah,
But they kind of play that type of style.
because if you play Miami, long enough, how you beat them is you play a zone, and you let those receivers catch it underneath, and you hit them, and you make Miami have to go the whole field to beat you. And then once they start getting inside the red zone, then all of a sudden you saw that they struggle today, because once they get inside the red zone, they don't have big receivers that can just go in and catch that pass. So if you make them have to go the distance, and that's what will happen.
In that red zone, when you kids spread out, they more of a finesse or playmaker. They explosive more team.
Yeah,
As the season go on, you need to have more of a ball control, more physical type of team.
and see that's the same with the Cowboys. They don't have the big power wide receiver. So once they get inside the red zone, and they don't have a power running back. So once they get to the red zone, they struggle a little bit.
Right, you look at a team like 49ers, man, they physical and even look at they went through a kind of a tough spot, lost to Cleveland.
Yeah, but they got
Somebody else
but they got some
everybody else
physical. They got some physical wide receivers.
physical, man.
They get that ball down to the red zone, man. They'll throw that little quick pass out to Debo. Hell, he's a running back. he gonna run it in for about 10 yards out because you don't want to hit him. And so and they got it,
Man.
huh?
I said like Cleveland. Cleveland is a dangerous team to me, man.
Well,
They dangerous with the defense, man.
any of those teams in you all's division is because y'all play the same style. Only problem I have is that y'all beat each other up. Y'all remind me of the NFC East. Y'all beat each other up to where when you get to the playoff, you ain't got nothing left. You may make it to the Super Bowl, but you don't lose your starting cornerback. You don't lose your quarterback. You know.
You know,
Whereas with the 49ers,
yeah, you look at Baltimore, Pittsburgh,
Yes.
Cincinnati, Cleveland. Man, all them teams are really playoff teams.
yeah. But whereas with the 49ers, the only physical team in their conference is probably God, I'm trying to think of the team because
Rams?
no, Seattle.
Seattle?
Yeah, Seattle is close to being that's not afraid to just play them. Everybody else got to kind of trick it up to beat them, beat them with gadgets and whatever. But you notice that teams in their division play them a lot better than teams that are not in their division, though. But it's gonna be something, man. And as we get close to the end, closer to the end, man, you really start to see teams start to separate, and we're starting to see this. I think the Eagles.
Playoffs started about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Really, the playoffs started early this year because, hey, I want to say this before I might have to get. I'm gonna tell you a team slowly turning around. Commentators, nobody paying attention to. Chicago is kind of turning the table a little bit. They can mess up if they want to and get rid of Fields. That's the worst mistake they ever made in their life.
Well, I'll tell you if they do. There's a
Now,
lot.
they slowly turning it around.
There's a lot of teams that'll be more than happy to have him. But hey, brother, while I got you on here, I want to ask you about your team from yesterday, Doc. Hey, man,
Whatever I've been waiting. Why you ain't asking me? That's what I thought you were going to ask me when we first started the show.
Man,
So long that
I was like, I'm watching the game yesterday. I said, boy, my homeboy Glenn rolling over in his grave. Even though he ain't dead, enjoyed this game. Brother,
I enjoyed it, man.
I bet you, I knew you did. So,
Hey, I'm gonna tell you something, man. I enjoyed it, but at the same time, I'm looking at Mike Tomlin and like, man, Mason Rudolph ain't no savior, but he better than Mitch Trubisky, man.
But
and I'm like, why you skip over this guy?
I had this note that I wrote while I was watching the game. That there's one question that I was going to ask you. I said, if my homeboy Glenn called into my show, there's one question that I was going to ask him. And here's the question I'm going to ask you, homeboy. At what point do you, as the owner or whoever who evaluate the coaches, ask a question, which is what you just said? Who is evaluating the talent you guys got? Because how the hell does Mason Rudolph come out and start looking like Santa Claus and Rudolph, where he just got everybody playing reindeer games and winning? What made them decide that they were going to play Mitchell Trubisky ahead of this guy, and he been in y'all system for what, 4 or 5 years?
Man, that's why I just been telling. Mason Rudolph been in the system with Pittsburgh at least over 5 years.
Yes.
I might be wrong. I want to say at least 5 years. Y'all go out and get Mitch Trubisky, and He got the customer bill on. A 40-year-old fucking rookie ain't worth a damn. Hey, man, look here, don't worry about it. You ain't got to cut. You can take it back off. So, we don't get it. Hey, I don't understand that, man. I don't understand that, man. Nah, I don't understand. Mason Rudolph, he wasn't no bad quarterback to me. I know he had that little incident with Cleveland and everything, got his ass whooped with you. But, man, that man had man ain't never played bad, man.
But
that
did
man,
you?
He played bad at Kenny Pickett and Trubisky, man.
But did you see how the offense responded when he was in there? Now, I got no problem with a guy throwing an interception as long as he can move the ball and you can score 3 or 4 touchdowns a game. You know, because if he's slinging it around sooner or later, you know, he gonna get picked. But I got no problem with that. But the problem I have is you guys kicking all these freaking field goals because y'all couldn't move the ball.
But all of a sudden they put him in there.
Yes.
Man, I just don't.
Yes.
You tell me, man.
I was like, homeboy Glenn. I wrote a note. I made a note. I said, I gotta ask homeboy Glenn when he come back on, explain that to me. And then I had another note I wrote because I tell people I don't just get out of bed and wing this show until I have some notes. So I had another question. I said, if my homeboy called, I was gonna ask him this question here. Now they're saying that your 40-year-old rookie may be available to play next week. Who are y'all going to start?
Rudolph, it's Christmas.
Who y'all starting, man? Because
hey, I'm gonna tell you who I want us to get, man, but I know they gonna help him, man.
Who?
You know who I want, man? You know who I want? You know who I want at that quarterback, man?
Who?
Justin Fields.
And
you mark my word. You mark my word. If Chicago Bears keep that young man and get him a wide receiver, because they already got one with that boy come from Carolina Panthers.
Let me.
If they go and get Marvin Harrison Jr. and go out and find that young man a decent running back, like if it ain't no more than a Delvin Cook come from Minnesota.
Let me tell you where Let me tell you. Let me tell you where he gonna end up next year. He gonna end up 3 places next year if they let him walk. Number 1, I think he'll end up with the Raiders. Number 2.
That's good. That's good.
Number two, I think he'll end up with the Saints. In 3, I think he may end up playing for Denver. Now,
I thought you would have said Atlanta.
But I think I think it would be a better fit for him with the Steelers because I think he.
Hey man, I would go. Hey man, I'm telling you, man, if Chicago got a good setup right now because they have the first 2 picks.
Yep.
They got the first 2 picks, and I would go after. I would get man.
I'm gonna tell you who I think. Let me tell you who I think y'all may end up with when it's all said and done. When it's all said and done, I think y'all might end up with my boy that's the quarterback for Arizona.
Kyle Murray.
I think y'all might end with Murray, or he may end up with the Saints because
I like Kyle Murray.
Yeah,
man.
yeah, and see,
hey man, dude, that little guy's a winner, man.
And see, and guys like that, if you put them with teams like Pittsburgh, you put them with teams that because Murray's big problem was, he when they lost their starting receiver, when their receiver left, and I think he learned a little bit because he's a young dude, man. He got a whole lot of money, he got paid. And he was a little bit immature, but I think getting hurt and sitting down, I think that taught him a whole lot about what he needs to do as far as being professional, and get.
Players challenges
and getting in your playbook.
But you know, I would say this here. You're right, but I would love to have Kyle Murray or Justin Fields. But I would say this here. All jokes aside, people don't realize how hard it is to play. Not just quarterback, but any position in the NFL. But quarterback is a hell of a position, man. And I think, you know, I ain't saying. I would say that I say it like this here. Most of the quarterbacks right now, it's some good quarterbacks out there, but they just don't have the right coaches that know how to elevate them and put them on that other level, though.
And see, the thing of it is, with those coaches, their thing is before we commit to paying a quarterback all this money, because once he get past that second year when he's on that rookie contract, they know that okay, we got to pay him. So before we commit to paying this guy $100-something million, almost $200 million, which is basically our team, we need to know if he is the man. I truly believe that the greatest mistake the Bears will ever make is if they let Fields walk. Somebody gonna pay him.
You got them at the point. Hey man, I'm gonna tell you something, man. Caleb Williams, Mays, Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels got potential, and I kind of like him.
I was gonna tell you,
none of them guys.
Out of all those three, I think Daniels will probably end up being a better NFL quarterback.
That's what I just said. But I don't see none of them guys better than Fields to me.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I don't see any of those guys. It no more. They can't convince me they that much better than Fields.
Well, the problem.
Fields is a good quarterback, man.
Well, see, the problem is people need to think about their fan base, which means if you have if you go through your season and you only won 4 or 5 games, your fans usually they not gonna stick around. They ain't gonna stick around while you draft a rookie. Normally, what teams do is when they have that ability to pick that first, unless you know you finna draft John Elway or someone like that, Peyton Manning, you know it's gonna be a surefire hit. A lot of times teams will trade out of that and then try to get a good veteran, or not a good veteran, or get somebody that's a proven product, like somebody in their second, third year, like a Kyler Murray, and they'll trade out of that and let somebody else have it.
But you know, I wanna, you know, I don't understand. I don't understand Jameis Winston, man. You know, one time, you remember he threw 30 touchdowns. He the first quarterback ever to throw 30 touchdowns, 30 interceptions in a season. You mean tell me he could have found no coach to kind of help him correct them? He wasn't over there with no bad. He was more like a gunslinger, man.
Well,
like he never got his stuff together.
Well, and I'll tell you here, Winston would be a good quarterback for the Steelers because he's gonna throw it down.
That's what I be thinking too, man. It's like, hey, I be thinking the same thing. Like, damn, Pittsburgh, y'all could go. Jameis Winston is better than what you got now.
Yeah, and he's not a bad quarterback, but it's almost like with Favre. Hell, Favre do a hell of a lot of interception too now. You know, I mean that's just who he is.
Man, you think about this, man. You think about this. Jameis Winston is a lot younger.
He's
Joe Flacco.
Yeah, Wilson may be like 26, 27 years old. He's not even hitting 30. No, he's a fairly young guy, man. And I think what did him good, was sitting behind Drew Brees and actually learning the game. And actually learning the game.
Yeah, he's a Heisman Trophy candidate, and he ain't been able to be good enough to make a.
What happened is that when these owners go out and spend this money to bring in a car, when they spend millions of dollars to bring in a car, It's like, hey man, I'm spending a lot of money for this guy. You gotta let him play. Even though I'm the coach and I'm sitting there thinking, well, you know what? He ain't that good. We need to be playing Winston. But this guy's like, hey, look, if we cut him, we gotta pay him. So a lot of this politics, man.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying. Because that's what I'm trying to say. Because how can man, you know how long we've been watching football. Man.
Yes.
And all them guys educated got education. I still don't think they know more than I know football. I don't give a damn what they think.
Because you can't tell me.
You can't tell me Derek Carr is just that much better than Jameis Winston.
Nah, like I said, it's just that they paid him a lot of money, man, to go from the Raiders. So
money, man.
yeah, you paying this guy, man. Hell, if I'm paying him, I won't see him play. But the thing of it is, at what point, man? Because somebody needs to explain to me, how is it that you can have a backup quarterback and then you find out, well, this guy here hadn't had any reps at all. He don't get any reps. You gonna tell me you can't get this guy some reps to be able to play when he's subject to come in and play? That don't make no sense to me. That's stupid. It's got to be a way we can get around that. But homeboy, it is time to bring this bad boy to an end. Here we go. You about to hear the sounds of my music. All right, discover Crown Royal. Blended Canadian whiskey, patiently blended and mixed and made for a king. It's been that way since 1939. And when you ever see me out in the streets and I'm crime fighting, somebody pass me a bottle of Crown Royal. And you know what I always say? Crown me, baby. Now, I want to get around to saying thank you to all my listeners, my homeboy Glenn, Jay in Grand Prairie. I want to listen to my man Big Coop from D1 Ignorant University. I'd like to say hi and thank you to the Country Kennies down in the great state of Arkansas and all those who listen to my show. And last but not least, I would like to thank you. I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas. And please, please spend quality time with your family. And as I say on the yard, please try to stay golden, baby. We will see you next week. Y'all like that? Merry Christmas.